Okay. Whew.
Hi.
I thought maybe you couldn't hear me.
Oh, and my audio was way low too, so I had to bump that up. It's been a day.
Why is that?
It just one thing after another I mean, it's been a good day. But then I got done with work today and Matt came home and we needed to do the gutters, clean the gutters out. And now it's because it's raining really hard here.
Really?
Yeah, you might see the lightning flicker on my face.
I was just telling one of my coworkers I wanted to just storm here so bad. I love storms. I don't know if you like them. I like them as long as everyone's safe in them. And like, I just love a good thunderstorm where like no trees come down, but the thunder and lightning is like intense. We haven't had one of those. Well, I guess we had one the other day in Nashville, but I'm like, it made me want them even more.
I love them. Yeah, it's really lightning out. And the winds are whipping.
Mm-hmm.
And even Matt and I stood out in the solarium and a bunch of things were starting to blow away. So I ran out there.
Oh, no.
Matt says, hurry up, catch it. Hurry up, catch it. You know, as he's standing there watching me, not helping, but, you know, directing me.
You just sent me a polo earlier. It looked sunny outside. Did it just like blow in?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So that polo actually was to you.
I was so confused. You're like, this is not really for you.
Yeah, this isn't for you, even though I'm recording it. I will be taking it to the cabin to pressure wash the decks. And I always like this choke business always gets me on the chainsaws and what else do we have that has it like everything? Oh, the weed whipper. I know. I call it a weed whipper.
I was just about to say, I love when you call it a weed whipper. I was just telling a coworker about that the other day. I was like, guess what they call it in Wisconsin? It's a weed whipper.
Oh, did you see that lightning?
No.
No, they don't call it a weed whipper.
Only you call it.
Only I call it a weed whipper.
That's even cuter.
I get picked on all the time about my weed whipping.
It's my favorite though. I kind of want to start using it here just to see what people say.
Yeah, I like it. But yes, the weed whacker, that has a choke on it too. And my husband is just baffled why I can't. The whole choking thing.
Jeez, Matt.
What's that?
Jeez, Matt, just let it be.
I know. I just don't understand the whole choking business. So
what are you gonna pressure wash at a cabin? Just the sides, the
decks, the front deck and the back deck. Yeah.
Cool. Yep. I love power washing things. It's like very therapeutic. There's nothing like more satisfying than watching a really dirty deck or a dirty, like I just power washed one of my rugs the other day and it looks so nice.
I saw that. You sent me it.
Yeah.
You sent me the video of it.
Yeah. It's an outside rug, but the thing is, it's one of those ones that you can't really throw in your washer. You've probably had this happen to you before where you have a washer, you throw it in there, but then when the water hits it, it gets so heavy, then it becomes like lopsided and then it just shakes around your washer. So I'm like, I'm not going to do that. So I took it and got it pressure washed and it looks so good now. I'm so happy. But now it's back outside, so hopefully it doesn't get dirty again, but whatever. That's what it's for.
So here we are.
Yeah. We didn't really even have like a topic planned for today.
No. And I was thinking about it during the day. And I even talked to Matt about it. I said, what should Ashley and I talk about tonight? And he just looked at me and I said, normally we do have lists of topics. Right. We just haven't picked a topic. We have a few people that we have one for sure booked October 5th. I'm not going to say just in case it doesn't work out, and then trying to schedule somebody else to come on to the podcast. Hopefully his book gets here soon so I can and look at it. Did you figure out whether you can do it that day or not?
No, not yet. I haven't gotten an answer.
Okay. And then one more person that I need to reach out to. So we do have things in the hopper. We do have topics to talk about. We just didn't pick one.
Yeah. And this kind of goes back to our routines thing. It's at least we're keeping a routine. Even if we have nothing to talk about, we still have stuff to talk about.
Well, I will tell you that I am reaching out to a person that Leslie works with. Yep. He is I believe it's a personal trainer.
Ooh.
And I'm setting some goals, which we've talked about hundreds of times.
Yay. You just started a new workout routine like yesterday?
Yes. Yep. The
Yeah.
new Beachbody. Yeah. In talking about routines, yeah, there's 4 of us now, well, myself included, so 3 others, and we work out Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday in the morning, and we do Beachbody workouts. And we just started a new Beachbody workout yesterday. We're doing
Nice.
muscle burns fat. We've done lift 4 and we've done the work. Now, of course, I can't do all of those things. So that's a part of writing down my goals. So I'm doing short-term, midterm, and long-term goals.
Oh, great.
My prior exercise history, which is basically walking and jogging, which is fine.
That's good. Yeah.
A little bit of weightlifting, but not even enough to even say that. And then any injuries, which knock on wood, I don't have any and never have had any working out. I mean, besides the sore muscles, but that's to be expected. And then current lifestyle. And as I'm
Nice.
typing this out, this poor guy is going to have to read for like an hour and a half of all this, all my goals and my short-term goals, and then my midterm, and then my ultimate long-term goals. And
That's how you plan.
it is, yes, it is how you plan. So you take your big thing and you go backward from it, or what you're trying to get. And it's really interesting to see where I've been, where I'm currently at, and where I'm going. And it's really, it's motivating. And now the action needs to come into play.
I've never heard of, even when I had a personal trainer, we didn't really talk about, where have you been? Where did you come from? Like, did you have any injuries? Like, I think it's so like rewarding to see, like I was like this like 5 years ago or something. I mean, I couldn't run as far as I did a couple of years ago, but they never talk about that at least when I went to personal training. It's like, what do you want to get to? And it's like, yeah, but look how far you've come already. That's just cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm super excited about it. And it actually is motivating me to keep getting even deeper with details.
Yeah.
And just keep going, because I do eventually want to write a book about this journey. I have started a blog on our webpage, and I want to continue it probably once a month. Nothing, not a daily blog or even a weekly one, but do it like I did with 75 Hard. It's just,
you're gonna take oh God, what is the term for this? I always forget it. Like, is he gonna take, when I was at personal training, they would take measurements, but he would only take them once a month?
no, I'm not interested in that. That's not my goal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was just kind of his protocol, and I didn't actually bring it up to him. I did want to lose weight, but it was he just took measurements because he's like, we're not going to do these like every time you're here, because you can't lose weight overnight.
Yeah, and my goal actually, this was inspiring. This is probably why I'm inspired a bit, is because weight loss isn't even on my goals.
That's great.
It's not even a thing.
It's like a byproduct. If it happens, it's good, and if not, it's like I think you just want to be well. Like we've been talking a lot about this word wellness, and like how it's all encompassing, and it means like mental wellness, good health, feeling good, like you just want to be 365, happy, healthy, well, maybe. I don't know.
And I have talked on the podcast before about what would my 70-year-old self say to my now 52-year-old self. I had a birthday last week.
I know. Happy birthday.
Thank you. And a part of that is to get in better shape, to be able to do the things that I want to do in retirement. And I'm not going to be able to do that if I continue this lifestyle. So really doing that. Then I talked about nutrition in the kitchen. So what I've come from and where I'd like to go to. So working through some of that, which then in turn goes to our not wasting food.
Yeah.
How do you turn some fruits and vegetables that are starting to go bad? Do you freeze them? Do you put them in a soup? So I've been doing that a lot more than I have been.
You need to learn how to blanch. That word keeps coming up. Have you?
Oh,
blanching?
yeah.
That's how you like store food in the freezer.
Yeah, tomatoes and
done it.
corn. Yeah, I believe you just tomatoes, you just dump them. This is turning into a cooking show. Or a canning show. Yeah, we need to get Dawn, my co-pilot, back on
We
here.
should have it. That'd be interesting. That's like we should do something on like homesteading or something. That's a very popular thing right now.
I would love to do that.
I want a homestead so bad.
I'm good with the modern conveniences of home.
Well, no, you have the modern conveniences, but you grow all your own food and
Yeah, not
see,
going to happen.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
No.
That's okay. But I think it would be cool to have someone on that does that. I don't know anybody. I'll try to see if I can find one.
Homesteading. Well, sometimes Matt and I watch that homesteading show. The
Oh, I don't even know
Rainies
that's
or
a thing.
Tees. I'm not sure. I'll have to look at it.
I've
Okay,
never
but
even
back
heard
to
of it.
blanching.
Yeah.
You get a boiling, or you get a pot of water, and it has to be a rolling boil.
Right.
And you dunk the food in. So let's just say it's whole tomatoes. And then there's all these charts on how many minutes each food goes in. And then you pull it out and put it into an ice bath. And then the tomato skins come right off, and then you put them into canning jars. And then
But what do you put in the canning jars?
the tomatoes.
Is there anything else in them?
Uh,
Water?
Maybe. I
I
don't
mean,
know.
what do? You just stick them in the freezer?
No, because they're canned. Oh, I think
I
that
have
you
freezer
have,
ones too.
yeah, where you put you put them on parchment paper, put them in a freezer, let them freeze for an hour or two, and then you can put them in plastic bags.
Yeah, that's what I want to try because apparently when you do it that way, it prevents it from getting freezer burn. Because that's the biggest thing is like you can put vegetables and stuff all you want in the freezer, but then it gets freezer burn, and I'm just like, that's not what I want.
Yeah.
There's just a way to do it. I just want to be less wasteful. It's just the good thing to do.
Yeah, it is. Or not buy as much.
Or not buy as much, yeah. I mean, I live so close to the grocery store now. I feel like I just pick up things when I need it. My grocery bill is like $10 every time I go there. I just pick up exactly what I need because it's like right on the way home. It takes me like 4 minutes to go in and out. It's like the easiest.
So goals, writing them down has been really interesting for me the past.
Nice.
Yeah.
I need to get better at that. There was a time probably a couple months ago, I was really good at writing down goals. I was writing down a lot of stuff, like all the manifestation stuff that I wanted to like happen. And I have not been doing that recently, although I did pull out my journal like 2 days ago and started writing some like new, I say manifestations, whatever, that I want and goals. I guess they're goals technically of what I want to happen. And yeah, maybe this could like, we can kind of like go on an offshoot about just like the other day. And I was telling you this yesterday, like the other day, my mind was racing and I have no idea why, but like it was just telling me all these like negative things. And how do you deal with that? Just like overcoming the negativity sometimes, like out of nowhere.
The negative self-talk.
Yeah, it was like negative self-talk out of nowhere. That hasn't happened in months for me. I don't know what that came from, but it was like telling me, it was like these goals will never happen. You'll never get to them. And I'm just like, what is going on? I'm not like that normally. I'm fine today, but I'm like, where did that come from?
That is crazy. That's when you pull me right away.
I know.
Say, Robyn, hey, what's going on?
Arguing with my brain. Yeah, it was weird. I was having like all these like weird, maybe I'm just stressed. I don't know. It was just
you have a lot going on at work, and then you have a lot going on in your personal life. So maybe you're not getting
I think I'm not getting
time that you need.
I think that's a good point. That's one of the things like tonight I have scheduled to do. It's like, what did you call it on your day? It's a nothing day.
My weekend of nothing.
It's my weeknight of nothing. Like I literally have nothing planned. I plan on making a very delicious meal, and I just bought some new things to put under my pots outside. So I need to like make my backyard because I clean my rug. So I have to fix that. Like I need to clean. And I'm just like, I haven't had time to do any of that, which is good and bad, you know?
So I would have considered that's doing something. So that's not a weeknight of nothing. Weeknight of nothing would have been last night where you said you were going to watch something on Virgin River on Netflix and eat popcorn.
Oh yeah, that did not happen.
Okay, so
I did eat the popcorn though. I got off of our little thing and literally Highland. I got off of that and then I did like 2 hours of work and then sat down and watched Toy Story 3 and I did watch Toy Story 3 and eat popcorn. And the popcorn was delicious and it made me so happy. But
then Pam made popcorn and then I sent a Snapchat of me making popcorn. And I do not believe that my mom ate popcorn last night. I think she's the only one that didn't eat popcorn.
Ugh, she had to ruin it.
Yeah. So
That's
you really do need an evening of nothing where you really have nothing planned besides dinner. That's it.
yeah. Because I really even have work I need to do tonight. I think my ambition got the best of me the last few months, and I've agreed to do everything, and I think that's the issue. It's all fun stuff. I just don't have the time of all day to do it, you know?
Then how are you going to fit it in?
Oh, I had a big thing that just ended today. So
Okay.
there was something that was taking up 3 hours of my day every single day. It was a short term thing, and now it's over, which is like kind of bittersweet because it was fun, but it's going to free up so much more time because now that time can be spent doing the other things that I agreed to that were I kind of already planned to do. It's one of those things where it's just, anyways. But I do need an evening of nothing.
Yes, I highly recommend it.
Need
So
also.
ambition.
Mm,
There's our topic.
there's our topic.
Why do people, I know why I get ambitious. I get ambitious because I get super excited about things.
Same.
So I want to do this, and then I want to do that, and then I want to do this, and then I want to do that. And then I start figuring out, and I am an overestimator of time because I'd rather have a buffer than to be too short on time. And then I realized that none of these things will probably happen. And then you have to start doing what is that game? Tetris, where everything has to piece together. So then you're starting to piece in all this time. And then if you have to travel, you need to put in travel time. And then it gets to be such a burden, but I get so excited over so many things. I want to do a million things. That's when my ambition gets in the way.
I
How
think
about you?
that's a perfect example. Yeah, it's like I think you and I are just so interested in everything. Like I want to get my hands into everything. And I think part of it, with at least at work, I feel honored when I get asked to do something, especially when it's not necessarily in my general job duties. Like I've been asked recently to work on like 2 initiatives with the company, and I'm just like, yes, like I get really excited. And part of it is like when I started my position, I was able to do things very efficiently, and so I had a lot more time because I was doing it like in half the time that normal someone else would be doing it. So I had all this time, and I'm like, oh yeah, I can totally add that on. And also I wanted to be a part of these things. And so like you said, it's just like I get so excited about certain things that I just want to be a part of it. But then sometimes I think it's a war with me where it's like not getting burnt out. And we've talked about burnout before, where it's like you get so excited, but at what point does it become like a burden on you? And then it becomes like a chore, which I hope that none of this does, but
So how can you protect yourself so you won't?
yeah.
Have you thought about that?
No, and that's what I'm like worried about. I think what it is, and part of what I've had to do the last few days is say no or set very high, set expectations for people.
Ashley,
I
that's good
know.
for you.
I told someone I couldn't do something the other day and I didn't like it.
I was gonna say, I bet you did not like saying that. I'm surprised you even said that.
Yeah, someone asked me to do something the other day and I'm like, I just can't do it. Like I don't have well, I didn't say the bandwidth, but I was basically like, I just can't, you
Did
know?
you give them an alternate time where you could, or was it a task that needed to be done right away?
It was a task that they said I can give it to someone else. And I was like, as much as I would love to do, I just can't at the moment. You know, I've got some other deadlines that are coming up, but I just can't work it in. And then there was another one where a guy asked me to do something, and it's like a pretty big, it's a task. Like it's not like an ongoing task, but it's gonna take up a chunk of my time. And I was just like, and I basically was like, I'd be happy to do this for you, but I am slammed until next week. Like I have a big event coming up on Sunday that's in a different city, and I'm just getting ready for that and getting all the things lined up for that. And I'm like, I know I'm going to be busy with that this whole week. So I told him I can do it mid next week, as long as it's not like urgent, because if it's urgent, you need to give it to someone else. And he agreed to it. And I was like, whew. So I set up 2 boundaries this week. I was so proud. Oh yeah, I set up a 3rd boundary because another guy asked me to do something too. And he goes, can you finish this? And I said, Wednesday. I said, I will block out some time Wednesday, but I can't do it immediately. But I feel like this has been, I didn't even think about that. Yeah,
That's a
I've done
really
it.
big revelation
Yeah.
for you. I will
3
say,
times.
if our listeners have not caught on, Ashley typically won't say no, and then you do get yourself into a
And then
jam.
yeah, and it's not that I feel like upset about it when I get home, I'm like, oh God, I have to work. But it's more like, oh God, I have to work and I'd rather go on a run kind of thing.
Mhm.
But it's a big thing. I like saying yes to things, and it's been really hard. But I did it. And the
You
world
did
didn't
it.
end. So
You can do anything.
I could do anything. I can't even say no to people. And it's cool too, because they're not like, I think I've just grown up in a where it's like, oh, if you say no to people, people are either mad or ashamed or will shame you for it or something. And it's like people are so understanding. Maybe it's just where I work, and I feel blessed to work somewhere where I can say no. So, but it's pretty cool.
That is super cool. That's a big revelation for you.
Yeah. It's been interesting. But any cool revelations for you?
Just the
Just
goal
about
setting
just
and
the goal and the ambition.
just ambition, yeah, because these are the things that need to happen. I want to happen. I guess they don't need to happen. I'd like them to happen. I would feel successful because the event is a year from now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's interesting. Um,
Yeah,
not
you've
to,
been really hitting it hard, like the gym and stuff. You were talking the other day about you've been trying to work on, oh God, what is that? Oh, sorry. My dog had a weird thing on his back. About climbing things that are very steep, like
yes.
long grades of stuff. So
Yeah, 40% grade, which the treadmills at the gym only go up to 15. So
mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure how I'm going to get 40% grade on anything, but it is what it is. Yes, so I have been doing that. Pam, who we do our Wednesday nights with, has been super inspirational because we both have Samsung phones or Androids, and we have
Nice.
Samsung Health, and we've been doing step challenges. So if
Ooh.
anybody out there has an Android phone and wants to join a challenge with Pam and I, we would love it. And she just whipped me this week. I set the challenge thinking
Wow.
my ambition was, oh, I am so excited to get over 10,000 steps every single day. So I did 100,000 step challenge with her, and she just
Where is she working out? Just going around the block?
dominated me.
Yeah.
She has an iFit
Mm-hmm.
treadmill. And those are, I would love to get one. I want to get the Nordic Eye treadmill that has a 40% incline.
Nice.
When I was at the cabin, I did a ton of research on YouTube and followed a bunch of people. In the Nordic Track Eye, which is, I believe, what is that, $4,000? Don't quote me on it. It's expensive. I will not be getting a Nordic.
But you would never have to leave your house.
No, I wouldn't have to leave my house, because then you could also do the iFit,
Mm-hmm.
which has all these super cool videos. You can do walking, you can do hiking, you can do jogging, and it's like you're with this person. So I do have iFit. It's just I don't have a treadmill that hooks up to it. But the one I did was a hike in New Zealand, and that was super
Nice.
cool. And then the other one was in, I'm not sure where it was, Tibet,
That's cool.
Nepal, by
Sounds
it was
right.
by Everest.
Everest.
Yeah. And that was just beautiful. And then I did one in Utah. I did a walk in Utah or a hike in Utah.
Practicing.
Practicing. It's really cool. So my ambition was to, totally beat Pam,
Mm-hmm.
because I had all these things. Nothing really got in the way that I could have, how do I phrase this? Nothing got in the way of my goal but me.
Mm-hmm.
So I just didn't have the mental determination, or I didn't have the 75 hard, where you just do it, you just get it done, you figure out how to prioritize it. So that's one thing too, is the mental strength and the mental discipline. I need to get that back.
Mm-hmm.
And then watch out, Pam, because I'm coming for you on the 100,000 steps. But yeah, I get super excited.
That's
and
funny.
then it doesn't always turn out.
Yeah, but but at least you tried. I mean, but it's good to at least set the goal in the first place.
Well, and I found it really interesting that I can set the goal, I can
Mhm.
have the ambition, I have the well, I think I have the determination, and now I know what gets in my way of accomplishing that or not,
Mhm.
or just
Yeah. It's
pounding through it.
learning. You learn from everything.
Yep, absolutely.
It's funny that you mentioned priority because I briefly got back on TikTok for a little bit. It's not for shame. I'm not trying to shame myself, but I could not sleep the other night. This was like 3 nights ago. I couldn't sleep the other night for the life of me. Like I was up all night and I would try to go to bed every 30 minutes. It wasn't happening. So I'm like, I'm just gonna watch TikTok videos because I deserve it. And so it's on there and I have a Disney trip coming up and blah blah blah. So I was on like Disney TikTok and one of the they were asking questions to this girl who like goes to Disney all the time. And one of the questions was, how can you afford to go to Disney so often? And she goes, I make it a priority in my life. And it really hit me because it's like you yeah, if you make it a priority and you spend less on like going out or something and going out and eating, it's all about where you set your priorities. So saying the way you just said that, it's like you can make it happen if it's a priority in your life. You can make anything happen if it's a priority in your life. Just
You
like going
can.
to Disney, you can make it if you can you'll find ways. If it's a priority in your life, you will find a way to make it happen. That's just
Yes.
that's a random example. It's a weird example, but I just thought it really hit me like it even though it was a Disney example, I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're right. Anything that is a priority in your life will come to fruition."
It really will, because
Yeah.
you're focusing on it.
You're
We
focusing on
had
it.
we had windows, I've talked about this on the
Mhm.
podcast. We've had our windows redone. We've had, I would say, 90% of our yard re-landscaped.
Mhm.
And then there's some basement work that needs to be done at the cabin. And Matt and I were talking about it, and it's, we still want to go on vacation next year. So how do we get all of this done? And we
Mhm.
started the conversation. We'll have another conversation, but the one thing I'm not willing to give up is my vacation next year. It's
Yeah,
something that is a priority. So
the
how am I going
priority.
to get it done?
Yeah.
And Matt's vacation to me is a priority for him to go on vacation as well. And
Mhm.
then we'll have a together vacation at some point. But those two individual vacations, which I have talked about on the podcast before, my husband and I do not do every single vacation together at all. We are very
You're
independent
very
and we
independent
believe
people.
we're very independent people.
But it
And
works for you guys.
it does work for us really, really well. And my first thought when, more and more money is going out the door for improvements,
Mhm.
we're not wasting it on, I don't know, partying or clubbing or,
Mhm.
but I'm just like, oh, how am I going to make this work? Because it is a priority for me for next year.
Mhm.
So the lady on Disney is right.
She's right. Yeah, it's just funny because people who have, I don't know, like Instagram dogs, you put your money into that, it's a priority, and they do things. I don't know. There's just like so many things because like I don't really go out to eat a lot. It allows me to put money into like a lot of other things that are a priority, which I make happen. I don't know.
Yes,
It's interesting.
Brunson comes to mind because I follow him on Instagram and he is
Russell
the cutest
Brunson.
little dog.
Cute. When
Yeah.
speaking of grades though, if you ever want to come to Nashville, I'll drive you to some pretty epic hikes. So, I mean, there's one like 3 hours away, but it's a quite steep incline if you want to practice some inclines.
Is it in Tennessee?
It's in the Smoky Mountains.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
awesome. Me and Leo went last year. It's brutal, but worth it.
Yes, that. And stairs.
Mhm.
So lots of stairs. And
Mhm.
then following people to figure out how do you get elevation when you live in an area that has pretty much
No
zero
elements.
elevation.
Yeah,
And
basically
it's,
Florida.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm following a lady on Instagram who does live in Pensacola.
Mhm.
And she too, there there are no hills in the areas that we live in. So it's parking lots, parking ramps. And then by parking lots, I mean walking up and down the stairwells. Or you
Nice.
can walk up one, go over, walk down, go over, and you can just keep looping it. Or here in Madison, I go to Bascom Hill.
Yeah.
And on one side, it's stairs. And then on the other side, going down to the Union, it's a hill, so it's not stairs. So one weekend in June, I did that 5 times. So I went 3 laps one way and then I reversed it. So then I was coming up the steep incline and then down the stairs.
Nice.
It's the only way that I'm going to get elevation.
Yeah. And then, but how are you going to deal with the altitude change? Because the
I
air is
plan on
thinner.
I plan on just going out to Utah a week before.
Yeah. But it
And
is hard to hike it, though.
Mm-hmm.
They have those masks that mimic altitude, but I don't know how good they actually are.
Yeah, I've been following a couple of people and I have asked that question and they don't necessarily think that
I don't think it
it's a
really.
thing.
Yeah, I think it's. I
Because
don't
base
know.
camp is 6,500 and then you ascend 2,000. So
Mhm.
you're really only sitting at
That's still
8.
lower than, yeah, most
Yeah.
places in Colorado. So
Yeah. So it's not crazy high altitude. And even
I'm
when
just
Matt,
a baby when it comes to altitude.
yeah, even when Matt and I went out west last year,
Mhm.
we were at almost 11,000 feet. And Matt said, can you feel the altitude difference? And I was like, not really. And then he's like, well, walk around for 15 minutes and then you will, because he goes elk hunting in higher altitudes. And
Yeah.
so sure enough, after about 15 minutes, I was like, well, okay, I guess I feel it.
I think
So
the biggest thing that I think most people don't think about is the dehydration. Like you get super, I did not realize that you get more dehydrated at higher altitudes. Last time I went to Colorado, man, you pee and it's like neon yellow. Like you could drink a gallon of water. Oh, I didn't drink that much, but it's like I felt like I was drinking all the time and I was not able to keep any water in me. It's
So if
very,
anybody wants to invite us out to their place for a week, so we can practice the altitude, that would be
yeah,
great.
we need help. I'm from Florida. I came to Nashville in 2010 and I came from Florida where in Panama City where I mean we have I think our altitude is like 50. I don't know, it's something crazy. I came to Nashville and I think the altitude here is like 500 and something. And I was walking up the hills at my college and I was out of breath and I'm like like for months when I first moved up there and they're like what is wrong and I'm like I'm a track like I ran track and was like a tennis player in high school like I was a very fit person in like just when I was 18 but man you would not know that when I was walking around because the altitude was like you know
Well,
I guess
in the elevation climb,
yeah
the
uh,
grade.
yeah I shouldn't say altitude it's not even that high but yeah I guess it but if you think about it 50 to 500 and I think it's like 590 or something is Nashville I don't quote me on that but that's like what is that 1,000% no what is that
Don't ask me to do math.
that's yeah what is that like 10 times the change I don't know what that
Yeah.
is but it was so hard but now I'm fine and it's like now I do stuff all the time and I can hike some crazy hikes but I just thinking back at my where I was like your goals
Yeah.
where I was back in 2010 versus where I am now and like that's just funny to look back at that I mean I was like so out of breath.
Even looking back at you and I, and I'll throw Pam in here too, is that we were talking about, okay, pandemic started basically March when we started working from home, at least our region
Mhm.
started working from home. And then we're thinking, okay, we're into August and we haven't done anything. So we haven't learned any new skill. We haven't done any real exercise. We've all just kind of been lazy. We haven't been cleaning out a closet or a drawer or a room.
Mhm.
And this is the time where the three of us said, let's get on it. Let's start doing something. So even the past year has been really amazing of
And
where,
cleaned out her whole freaking room.
yeah, where we were, what we did, and then where we're at today. It's,
God, I got rid of so much stuff last year. I
yeah.
can't even believe it. Like it feels so good though. It's like
Mhm.
I have like purge. I feel like I'm so minimalist, except for plants. I'm not a minimalist. You can't see any plants. You can't see any plants in here. You should see. Should see my house. It's wild. Oh my gosh. Can I send a video? I need to include a video in this. We're gonna have to. This is a really random aside. We'll have to include this at the end of this podcast in the YouTube. So I have a plant. I'm gonna turn this towards where it is. So this plant right here.
I see it.
Okay. It has an aerial root. So the root like comes out. It's not into soil. It comes out and it's basically looking for water. That's the whole point of it. It's trying to find water. And I've just been letting it chill because it normally just sits on top of my carpet and just searches for water. It doesn't die and it doesn't really bother me. The other day I was looking at it. This is like, and I was like, where did it go? And like it looks like, because it normally has a little green tip, and I'm like, where did the tip go? So I looked, it has buried itself under my carpet. And not just by a few inches, it has 2 feet of root under my carpet.
Ashley, water the plant. It wants water.
It's got plenty of water. It's just that root's not in the soil. And so that particular root is trying to figure out where it can go to find water. And so I'm like,
oh, little pumpkin.
I don't know what to do. It's growing along my baseboard, so it's not like in the carpet yet, but I'm hoping it's going towards the light of my sliding glass door. And so I'm like, do I put like a bowl of water near it so it comes back up and then comes out?
Yes.
Like, I tried pulling it out the other day and it did not like that. I need to show you this because like Ella came over the other day and she's like, it's like little shop of horrors in here. She's like, it's alive. I mean, that aerial root is at least 4 feet long. Like it is the longest root you've ever seen.
Put it in some water. The poor little plant.
I know it's cracking me up though, but that's just a random aside. I have to show you. It's hilarious.
Yes, I want to see it.
I'll pollo you for sure about it. But
I want to see it. What else do you have going on?
Nothing much.
Books? Any books?
Yes, and I have one for you actually. So 2 things. I'm reading just a fun book. I found it. So like I said, I'm going to Disney World soon, and I've been on like my ADHD has me hyper fixated on it. And so I got this book at a thrift store the other day for $0.25 called like this all the secrets you thought you knew about Disney but didn't actually know. And so it's a gift for my dad, but I'm like, I want to read this before him so I know more than him. And so because I want to be able to talk about it with him. And so I'm like, well, I still have like a month out from my trip, maybe a little bit more. And so I'm reading that now, which I read. It's like it's every section or every topic has 2 pages, so it's really easy. I read like a little bit. But the one I'm really excited about is called Psycho-Cybernetics. And this book, I can't remember where I heard about it, but it's very popular. And it was like everyone started buying it last year or something. I think it blew up on like a video or something. And so you couldn't get it for less than like $15 or something. So I went to my local bookstore and I'm just like looking through the books and I saw one and I pulled it out. It was $0.25. And I was like, and then I found 3 more. And so one of them is for you, by the way. So
thank you.
But it's about manifestation and such. And I'm very into it. But it's basically, it's like about a plastic it's written, the author is, I believe, a former plastic surgeon, but he's also like very into like, like the mind and stuff, but it's supposed to be really cool. And it just talks about like what you focus on comes to fruition, kind of like we were talking about priorities. What you focus on comes to fruition. And but I'm really excited because I got them for $0.25, and like these are like really popular books right now. So I bought one specifically for you. So
aw, thank you.
I just got to get out to you with the other things that I still have to get to.
Woohoo.
I have like a pile of things for you.
I have been listening to audiobooks.
Nice.
I finished Turtles All the Way Down.
Okay.
And that was just a fun book. I'm trying to think what I'm on now. Oh, I'm on 9 Perfect Strangers by Leanne Moriarty.
Oh, she's got a very popular book. What is her popular book?
My Sister's Keeper, maybe?
Yes. Yeah. My Sister's Keeper. Yep.
I've read that one. So I'm listening to that. And then there's a couple on the docket. One is a Jesse Itzler, and it's Living with a Seal. So I want to read that. And then I believe I have another leadership book that I want to take a listen to. And then one of our guests that I'm hoping that we can schedule September, October, November has a book out about working remotely.
Ooh, that's going to be good.
Yeah. So once we get hopefully him scheduled, then I'll let you know what the book is and you can read it. I've read it already. Really good.
That's going to be, I think, a very trending topic here in the next few years. I was just talking to a coworker about the idea of working remotely, and then also this weird phenomenon that every company seems to be seeing right now that we're affectionately calling the great oh God, now I forgot about it. It's everyone's like leaving their companies to try like these crazy things. Oh God, we called it something really cute today and I can't remember, but it's like, oh, the great resignation is what we were calling it, because it's like everyone's resigning, not necessarily from ours, but like we were just reading articles on it about how like everyone's like had so much time to think in COVID, like, what do I want in life? And people are changing their careers and like, you know.
I think it's fantastic.
Yeah.
We have such a short life. We have such a long life, however you want to look at it. But do what makes you happy.
I know.
It's important, yes.
That's why I was kind of like, I'm like, it kind of sucks, obviously, for the companies that go through it. But at the same time, it's like, kind of, I'm proud of the people for doing it, you know?
Well, that, and some people are leaving because other companies are making them go back to work. And if you really like working remotely, like I do, I would not want to work for a company where you have to go back to work. If you want to go into the office, that's great and it's optional. Totally fine with that. But we
just have options now.
We have a lot of options. And I do know of people that wanted the 100% guarantee of working remotely. And that's what they're doing.
I just feel like it just depends on the person. Like, I would not thrive in a situation like, I will say I like the ability to choose. I like that option, but I think I would go crazy if I did not go into the work. But maybe it's just because, you know, I live alone and it's like I crave human beings. I was like texting one of my friends. I'm like, can we please go get ice cream soon? Like I just need to talk to someone.
Yeah, so that topic will be awesome.
Yeah, I think we should definitely talk to like a recruiter or something. Like, I'd be so interested to like hear what they have to say about just the great resignation. But other than that, that's all I got.
That's about all I've got too. I'm gonna keep working on my goals.
Yeah, let's keep working on our goals and we'll check in, I guess. But I'm excited for our other speakers that we can't yet speak of, but
not yet. They're coming. So if you have any ideas on what we've talked about today, or you want to throw in your 2 cents, you can get a hold of us on Facebook, Instagram, email. Like and subscribe if you like us.
Yeah, thank you so much for go ahead.
Leave a review.
Yeah, and thank you for all of your guys' support and listening to us. It's been amazing. And all the people from around the world, because it's pretty cool to see that we're being listened to everywhere, and we couldn't do it without you. So
no, that's true. And we would love to hear from you. Honestly, please, please, please get a hold of us, because we would love to hear what all of our listeners are doing.
Yep. So I guess until next time, stay awesome
and keep reaching for your anything.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.